Cole Harrington's shoes clicked against the marble floor of his penthouse. It was only 9:47 p.m. He wasn't supposed to be home yet. The charity gala had been boring. Rich people talking about helping poor people while eating $100 steaks. Cole had smiled. He had shaken hands. He had written a big check. But his head hurt and his tie felt too tight. So he left early. Now he stood in his own hallway, and something felt wrong. The lights were dim, too dim, and there was a sound coming from upstairs. A soft shuffling, like someone dragging their feet. Cole frowned. He lived alone with his son, Nolan. But Nolan should be asleep. It was a school night. He started toward the stairs. That's when he saw her. A young woman appeared at the top of the staircase. She was black, maybe 25 years old, wearing a simple gray uniform. Her hair was pulled back in a tight bun. Her eyes were wide and scared. Cole knew her. Sort of. She was a new maid. What was her name again? Amara? Yes, Amara. He had hired her 2 weeks ago through an agency. He barely remembered the interview. "Mr. Harrington," she whispered. Her voice shook. "You're home early." "Yes, Sure." She rushed down the stairs so fast she almost tripped. Her finger pressed against her lips. "Please, be quiet." Cole's eyebrows shot up. Did this maid just shush him? In his own house? "Excuse me," he said louder now. "I don't think you understand who." Amara moved like lightning. Her hand clamped over his mouth, actually touched his face. Her palm was warm and slightly damp like she'd been sweating. Cole froze. His heart hammered in his chest. Nobody touched him like this. Nobody told him to be quiet. He was Cole Harrington. He owned 3 companies. He had $17 million in the bank, and this maid had her hand over his mouth. He grabbed her wrist and pulled it away. "What do you think you're—" "Please," Amara begged. Tears filled her eyes. "Please, Mr. Harrington. You'll wake him. You'll scare him." "Wake who?" "Nolan." Cole looked up the stairs. "My son should be asleep. What's going on?" "He is asleep," Amara whispered. "But he's also not." Cole stared at her. "That doesn't make any sense." "Come." She grabbed his hand. Her fingers were small but strong. "Come see. But be very, very quiet. Like a mouse. Can you do that?" Something in her voice made Cole listen. Maybe it was the fear. Maybe it was the way her hand trembled in his. He nodded. They climbed the stairs together. Amara moved on her tiptoes. Cole tried to copy her, but his expensive shoes still made little sounds. Each time they did, Amara winced. At the top of the stairs, Cole saw him. Nolan. His 8-year-old son stood in the hallway. His eyes were open, but they looked empty, like windows with nobody home. He wore his favorite pajamas, the blue ones with rockets on them. His feet were bare. His brown hair stuck up in 3 different directions. "Nolan!" Cole started forward. Amara yanked him back. Hard. "No!" She breathed into his ear. "Don't. You'll startle him." "Startle him? He's just standing there." "He's sleepwalking, Mr. Harrington." The words hit Cole like cold water. "He's what?" "Watch." Nolan turned slowly. His movements were strange. Stiff, like a robot that needed oil. He walked toward his bedroom door, but his eyes never blinked, never focused on anything. "Dad." Nolan mumbled. His voice sounded far away. "Dad, when are you coming home?" Cole's throat went tight. "I'm right here, son. I'm." Amara squeezed his arm. A warning. Cole bit his tongue. Nolan kept walking. He bumped into the wall, but didn't seem to notice. "I made a drawing for you at school. It's a rocket, like the ones you promised we'd see at the museum." His little hand reached out, touching the wall like he was petting it. "But you were too busy. You're always too busy." Each word was a knife in Cole's chest. "I waited for you at dinner," Nolan continued in that empty, sleep-thick voice. "Mrs. Chin made my favorite. Spaghetti, but you didn't come. You never come." Cole felt something wet on his cheek. He touched it. Tears. He was crying. Amara guided Nolan gently, her hand barely touching his shoulder. She led him away from the wall. back toward his bedroom. Nolan followed her touch like a puppet on strings. "That's it, sweetheart," she whispered so softly Cole almost couldn't hear. "Back to bed. Back to dreams." Nolan shuffled into his room. Amara tucked him under his blanket. The boy's eyes finally closed. His breathing became slow and deep. Really asleep now. Amara stood there for a long moment, watching him, making sure. Then she turned to Cole. Her face was wet too. She'd been crying as well. They walked downstairs in silence. Cole's legs felt weak. His hands shook. He went to the kitchen and poured himself a glass of water. He drank it all in 3 big gulps, but still felt thirsty. "How long?" His voice cracked. "How long has he been doing this?" Amara sat at the kitchen table. She looked exhausted. "Every night since I started. 2 weeks. 2 weeks." Cole slammed the glass down. "Why didn't you tell me?" "I tried." Amara's voice rose. Then she caught herself. Lowered it. "I left you 3 messages, Mr. Harrington. I sent you 4 emails. You never answered." Cole grabbed his phone, scrolled through it. There they were. Messages from an unknown number. Emails from amerjenkins@gmail.com. All marked as read, but never replied to. He'd probably glanced at them while in meetings. Assumed they were about cleaning supplies or schedules. His stomach twisted into a knot. I thought. He couldn't finish the sentence. "You thought they weren't important?" Amara said quietly. "Not mean. Just true." Cole sank into a chair. "Tell me everything." Amara took a deep breath. Her hands twisted together in her lap. "It started the night you left for your business trip. 2 weeks ago. Tuesday." Cole remembered. Chicago. A merger meeting. He'd been gone for 3 days. "I was finishing the dishes around 9 o'clock. Amara continued. "I heard footsteps upstairs. Soft ones. I thought maybe Nolan needed water or something, so I went to check." She paused. Her eyes got distant, remembering. He was standing at the top of the stairs. Just like tonight. His eyes were open, but he wasn't really seeing. I said his name. He didn't answer. He just walked right past me. Down the stairs, straight to the front door. Cole's blood went cold. The front door? Yes. He tried to open it. He kept pulling on the handle, saying, "I need to find Dad. I need to tell him something important." Over and over. Amara wiped her eyes. "I was so scared, Mr. Harrington. I didn't know what to do. I couldn't wake him. My grandmother used to say never wake a sleepwalker. So I guided him back to bed. Gentle, real gentle. And it happened again. Every single night." Amara's voice broke. "Every night for 2 weeks. Sometimes he just stands in the hallway. Sometimes he goes to your bedroom door and knocks. Sometimes he walks to the kitchen and sets the table for 2 people. He's always looking for you." Each word felt like a punch. Cole put his head in his hands. His perfect hair got messy. He didn't care. "I should have tried harder to reach you," Amara said. "I should have." "No." Cole looked up. "This isn't your fault. This is mine. All mine." The clock on the wall ticked, loud in the quiet kitchen. Tick, tick, tick. "Why didn't you just quit?" Cole asked. "You're only paid to clean until 6 o'clock. Not to stay all night watching my son." Amara's jaw tightened. Because he's a little boy who needs someone. Because he could hurt himself. Because... She stopped, swallowed hard. "Because I couldn't just leave him alone. But you don't even know him. I know him better than you think." Amara's voice got stronger, braver. "I know he loves dinosaurs, especially the T-Rex. I know he hates carrots, but he'll eat them if you cut them into tiny pieces and mix them with rice. I know he checks the door at 6:15 every evening, hoping you'll walk through it. I know he has a loose tooth, the front one, and he's scared it'll fall out when you're not here to see it." Cole felt like he couldn't breathe. He was learning about his own son from a stranger, from the maid he barely noticed. "I know he drew you 17 pictures this month," Amara continued, standing up now. Her voice shook but didn't stop. 17, Mr. Harrington. They're in his backpack. He carries them to school and brings them home every day because he keeps hoping you'll ask to see them. I know he pretends his stuffed bear is you at bedtime. He talks to it, tells it about his day. And I know, her voice cracked completely. I know he cries into his pillow some nights. Real quiet, like he doesn't want anyone to hear. Stop. Cole's voice was barely a whisper. Please stop. But Amara didn't stop. Couldn't stop. The words poured out like water from a broken dam. Do you know what he asked me yesterday? He asked if I thought you still loved him. An 8-year-old boy asked me if his own father still loved him. And you know what I said? I said, of course you do. I said, you're just busy. I said you work hard to give him a good life. She laughed, but it wasn't a happy sound. But you know what? I don't think I believe that anymore. Cole stood up fast. His chair scraped against the floor. How dare you? I work 60 hours a week for my son. Everything I do is for him. The money, the house, the private school. He doesn't want those things. Amara shouted, then caught herself, lowered her voice, remembering Nolan sleeping upstairs. He doesn't want a bigger house or expensive toys or fancy schools. He wants you, just you, 10 minutes of you paying attention, 5 minutes of you asking about his day, 1 minute of you looking at his drawings. I provide for him. I give him everything. Everything except yourself. The words hung in the air between them. Heavy, true, terrible. Cole's anger crumbled. His shoulders sagged. He looked old suddenly, tired. I'm trying to build him a future. So he never has to worry about money. So he never struggles like I did. And while you're building that future, you're missing his present. You're missing him. They stared at each other. The refrigerator hummed. Somewhere outside, a car alarm went off, then stopped. I lost my father when I was 7, Cole said quietly. He worked in a factory. One day there was an accident. Just like that, he was gone. We had nothing. My mother worked 3 jobs. I wore donated clothes. I ate free lunch at school. I swore when I had a son, he'd never know that struggle. Never. Amara's face softened a little. I'm sorry about your father. I really am. But Cole, she used his first name for the first time, Nolan isn't losing you to death. He's losing you to your choice. And that's worse. Because you're here. You're alive. But you're not present. Before Cole could answer, they heard it. A small sound from upstairs. Footsteps. No. Cole breathe. Not again. They both rushed to the staircase. And there he was, Nolan, standing at the top, eyes open but empty, barefoot in his rocket pajamas. But this time was different. This time, Nolan walked down the stairs. 1 step, 2 steps, 3. Careful, Amara whispered. Nolan reached the bottom. He walked straight to Cole, looked up at him with those faraway eyes. Dad, he said in that dreamy, sleep-thick voice. You came home. Cole's heart shattered into a million pieces. I'm here, son, he said, his voice breaking. I'm here. Nolan smiled. Still asleep, still somewhere else, but smiling. Can we have breakfast tomorrow? Together? Can we? Yes, Cole said. Tears ran down his face. He didn't wipe them away. Yes, we can. Promise? I promise. Nolan swayed on his feet. Amara moved to catch him, but Cole got there first. He scooped his son into his arms, held him close, really close, for the first time in, how long? Weeks? Months? Nolan's head rested against Cole's shoulder. His breathing slowed, deepened. He felt so small, so light. When did he get so light? Cole carried him upstairs. Amara followed quietly. They went to Nolan's room, a room Cole realized he hadn't really looked at in forever. The walls were covered in drawings, hundreds of them, all taped up carefully. Pictures of rockets and dinosaurs and stick figures holding hands. In every picture with people, there were 2 figures. One tall, one small, father and son. Cole laid Nolan in bed, pulled the blanket up, tucked it around him just right. He sat on the edge of the bed for a long moment, just watching his son breathe. I'm sorry, he whispered. I'm so sorry. Nolan stirred slightly. His hand reached out in his sleep, and Cole took it. Held it. They sat like that for 10 minutes, neither of them moving. Finally, Amara touched Cole's shoulder gently. "We should let him sleep," she whispered. Cole nodded. He kissed Nolan's forehead, then stood up. His legs felt shaky. They walked back downstairs together. The house felt different now, less like a museum, more like a home that was hurting. Cole sat at the kitchen table again. His expensive suit was wrinkled now. His tie hung loose. He looked nothing like the powerful businessman who had walked through the door an hour ago. Amara poured him a glass of water, then poured one for herself. She sat across from him. "My mother was a night nurse," Amara said softly. "She worked the 11 to 7 shift at County Hospital, every single night." Cole looked up. "Why are you telling me this?" "Because I was Nolan once." Amara stared at her water glass. "I used to wait by the window every morning. 5 years old, sitting on the couch in my pajamas, watching for a car. Some mornings she'd be so tired she could barely walk. But she always smiled when she saw me, always picked me up and hugged me, even though her back hurt. She sounded like a good mother. She is. Amara smiled, but her eyes were sad. "But I remember the nights too, the long, dark nights. I remember waking up scared and calling for her, but she wasn't there. My grandmother took care of me. She was kind. She fed me. She sang to me, but she wasn't my mom." Cole's throat felt tight. "How old were you when this started?" 4. It went on until I was 12. 8 years of nights without her. Amara finally looked at him. "You know what I remember most? Not the birthdays or Christmas presents. I remember the Tuesday morning when I was 7. Mom came home early. Her shift got canceled. She made me pancakes. We ate together and watched cartoons. Just 45 minutes. That's all it was. But I still remember every detail. The way the syrup dripped, the sound of her laugh, the way she let me lean against her. 45 minutes, Cole repeated quietly. That's all it takes sometimes. Not hours, not grand gestures. Just showing up, being there, being present." Amara's voice got stronger. "My mom worked those nights because she had to, because we needed the money to survive. We had no choice. But you, Mr. Harrington, you have a choice. You have all the choices in the world." The words settled over Cole like a heavy blanket. True, undeniable, crushing. "I don't know how to fix this," he admitted. His voice cracked. "I don't know how to be what he needs." "Yes, you do." Amara leaned forward. "You just did it upstairs. You held him. You promised him breakfast. That's how it starts. But I have meetings tomorrow, 3 of them, and a conference call at 7 and cancel them." Cole's eyes went wide. "I can't just." "Why not?" Amara challenged. "Will the world end if Cole Harrington misses one day of meetings? Will your companies crumble? Or are you just scared?" "Scared of what?" "Of finding out you don't know your own son anymore. Of realizing how much you've missed. Of facing what you've done." The words hit like bullets, each one true, each one painful. Cole put his face in his hands. His shoulders shook. He cried, really cried, not the silent tears from before. Big, gulping sobs that came from somewhere deep inside. All the guilt, all the regret, all the wasted time. Amara didn't say anything. She just waited, let him feel it. Finally, Cole wiped his eyes, looked at her. "Help me, please. I'll pay you anything. Triple your salary." I don't want more money," Amara said firmly. "If you're just going to throw money at this, I'm leaving right now. You can find another maid." "That's not what I meant." Cole sat up straight. "I meant, help me be a better father. Teach me. You know him. You see him. I need." He stopped. Started again. "I'm asking you, as a person, not as an employee. Help me?" Amara studied his face for a long moment, looking for something. Sincerity, maybe. Truth. She must have found it because she nodded. "Okay, but you have to actually do the work. I can't do it for you." "I will. I swear I will." Then here's where you start. Amara counted on her fingers. 1. Cancel your morning meetings. All of them. 2. Wake up at 6:30 tomorrow. 3. Go to Nolan's room and wake him up gently. 4. Spend 10 minutes, just 10, asking him about his dreams, about what he wants to do today. Actually listen to his answers. 5. Make him pancakes. I don't know how to make pancakes. Then learn. YouTube has 1,000 videos. Figure it out. Amara's voice softened. He doesn't need perfect pancakes. He needs you trying. He needs to see you in the kitchen, making an effort for him. Cole pulled out his phone, opened his calendar. His thumb hovered over the screen. If I cancel these meetings... He started. What? Someone will be upset? They'll think less of you. Amara shook her head. Let me tell you something. In 20 years, Nolan won't care about your business deals. He won't remember how much money you made in 2025. But he will remember if you showed up. He will remember if you chose him. Cole pressed delete. The first meeting vanished. Then the second. Then the third. His whole morning cleared out. The screen looked so empty now. But somehow, Cole felt lighter. What if I mess up? He asked quietly. What if I'm terrible at this? You will mess up, Amara said simply. You'll burn the pancakes. You'll say the wrong thing. You'll forget stuff. That's okay. What matters is that you're there, that you keep trying. Cole nodded. Then something occurred to him. Will you stay? Not just tonight. I mean, will you keep working here? I know I've been a terrible boss. I know I didn't answer your messages, or... I'll stay, Amara interrupted, but only if you do your part. I'm not here to replace you. I'm here to help. There's a difference. Thank you. Cole's voice was thick with emotion. Thank you for caring about him when I was too blind to see what was happening. Amara stood up, smoothed her uniform. I should go home. It's late, but I'll be back tomorrow at 2 o'clock. That gives you the whole morning with Nolan. Cole walked her to the door, handed her an envelope from the hall table. This is for the 2 weeks of overnight hours I didn't know about. It's not enough, but... Amara pushed it back gently. I didn't do it for money. I know, but please, take it anyway. She hesitated, then accepted it. Thank you. At the door, she turned back. Mr. Harrington? One more thing. Cole. Please, just call me Cole. She smiled. A real smile this time. Cole, the drawings in his backpack? Ask to see them tomorrow. He'll probably cry. But let him show you. Every single one. Okay. After Amara left, Cole walked upstairs. Slowly, quietly, he stood in Nolan's doorway, watching his son sleep, really looking at him, the way his chest rose and fell, the way his small hand clutched the stuffed bear, the way his mouth was slightly open. 8 years old. How did that happen? Wasn't he just a baby yesterday? Cole looked at the drawings on the walls. Walk closer. Read the words written in crayon at the bottom of each one. For Dad, to Daddy, love, Nolan, every, single one. Cole's chest hurt. A good hurt. The kind that meant something was waking up inside him. Something that had been asleep for too long. He pulled out his phone, set an alarm for 6:15 a.m. Then he searched how to make pancakes for kids. The first video loaded. A cheerful man in an apron showed how to mix flour and eggs and milk. Cole watched the whole thing, took notes, then watched it again. At midnight, he finally went to his own room, but he didn't sleep right away. He lay there, thinking, planning, remembering. When was the last time he'd really talked to Nolan? Not just asked if homework was done, but really talked? When was the last time he'd played with him? Read him a story? Tucked him in? Too long. Way too long. But tomorrow would be different. Tomorrow was day one. The first day of showing up, of being present, of being the father Nolan deserved. The next morning at 6:15, Cole's alarm went off. He didn't hit snooze. He got up, put on jeans and a t-shirt instead of a suit, went downstairs, started mixing pancake batter. He burned the first batch. They came out black and smoking. The second batch stuck to the pan. The third batch was lumpy and uneven, but they were golden brown and they smelled pretty good. At 6:45, Cole walked to Nolan's room, sat on the edge of his bed, gently touched his son's shoulder. "Nolan? Buddy? Time to wake up." Nolan's eyes fluttered open, confused, sleepy, then they focused on Cole. "Dad." His voice was small, uncertain, like he thought he might be dreaming. "Yeah, buddy, it's me." Cole smiled. His eyes got wet, but he didn't care. "I made you pancakes. They're not very good, but they're made with love. Want to come eat breakfast with your old man?" Nolan sat up slowly, stared at his father like he was seeing a ghost. You're really here? In the morning, I'm really here. And I'm going to be here a lot more from now on. I promise." Nolan's bottom lip trembled. Then he launched himself forward, wrapping his small arms around Cole's neck. He buried his face in his father's shoulder and cried. Happy tears. Sad tears. All the tears he'd been holding inside. Cole held him tight, kissed the top of his head, whispered, "I'm sorry," over and over. They stayed like that for a long time. Father and son, finally together, finally present. And when they went downstairs to eat lumpy pancakes, Nolan talked. He talked about dinosaurs and his loose tooth and his friend Marcus and the spelling test he was worried about. He talked for 37 minutes straight, and Cole listened to every single word. If this story touched your heart, please share it with someone who needs to hear it. And subscribe for more stories that remind us what truly matters in life. Not success, not money, but the people we love and the moments we choose to be present for. Because at the end of the day, that's all that really counts.